Today's PowerPoint is entitled, What's the Difference Between Reading Skills and Strategies? As quoted from Michael Presley, mature readers have a wide repertoire of reading strategies. Reading skills versus reading strategies. Look at the first portion as to where this information was acquired. There's inconsistency and confusion about the meaning of the terms skills and strategies, and this inconsistency is among researchers and college professors. It may seem like a minor issue, yet it's not. It's important that teachers understand the difference in the terms. I made a deliberate effort to find out how P. David Pearson defined the terms, for he is arguably one of the best reading researchers. Read this quote to yourself. As stated on this slide, the terms have important implications for the teaching of reading to students. A need to know the targets for a lesson, how we're going to get there, and if we succeeded in helping students are very important. Look at this quote. The key difference between the terms skills and strategies is whether they are automatic or deliberate. There's a key difference between the two. When teaching a student to sound out words, for instance, we need to have him or her ask, does it sound right? Does it look right? Does it make sense? This is employing a strategy. When students are reading text, they would ask themselves, does this make sense? This is a deliberate, conscious metacognitive act. It is a strategy when it is deliberate, conscious, and metacognitive. Not a skill at this point. When a strategy becomes effortless and automatic, the strategy then becomes a skill. Reading strategies, like reading skills, are not always successful, and the definition does not always guarantee positive or useful actions. For example, if a young child chooses an inappropriate goal, such as reading fast to finish before his peers finish, rather than carefully reading to understand, that's really not an appropriate strategy. Some strategies are simply not correct, such as guessing at a word based on the initial letter. Also, if a student has a vague feeling that what he is reading sometimes doesn't make sense, he deliberately self-questions and rereads at a slower pace. These actions are strategic and intentional. They are a strategy. When these actions are done automatically and intentionally, they are a skill. Look at the 7 strategies to teach students text comprehension. As we know, we can't assume students know how to use a strategy or if they will use the strategy, so teachers must model a strategy to show them how to think, scaffold the instructions so that they release responsibility over time to the student, and then have the student practice the strategy under the watchful eye of the teacher. Ultimately, the best learning experience for students, once they are comfortable using the strategy and it becomes a skill, is to pair a student where each is in a role of the teacher. Practice using strategies alone will not be sufficient. And as I said, these are ways that I just shared that teachers may help provide explicit instructions to students. Ultimately, we want to train students to shift between strategies and skills with each new text they encounter. And as quoted here, at the heart of accomplished reading is a balance of both automatic application and use of reading skills, and intentional, effortful employment of reading strategies, accompanied by the ability to shift seamlessly between the two when the situation calls for it.